on, Rangers! Come
I
on,
missed the whole game.
The National League is in disarray. The three divisions of pro and semi-pro clubs that exist directly below the English Football League are seeing football grind to a halt. The country might be in lockdown, but with this tier of football classed as an elite sport, it isn't so much the dangers of COVID-19, but rather flawed governance that's threatening to derail the season. A 2-week break is being enforced in order for political wranglings to take place. At the National League South League leaders Dorking Wanderers, manager and owner Marc White is refusing to let his side wind down. Instead, he's arranging a series of friendlies in order to keep his squad sharp. And before his table-topping side hosts League One's AFC Wimbledon, he's keen to impress upon his players that their bid for the league championship is far from over.
If I had to bet on it, this is going to continue. This is going to continue. So this is where I'm asking you to be mentally fucking strong. Because I tell you what, if we pick up the Champions Trophy, and quite a few of you have done it with me before, you look back at these little periods and say, well, we could have switched off. We could have just fucking been a bit softer and friendly and took an injury because you weren't switched on. You know what I mean? Or we could have just applied ourselves in a shit way, but we didn't, and that's why we got the trophy. That's why we're on the tour abroad, and that's why we're celebrating. In our mind, we are absolutely carrying on. What I'm looking for is for you just to do what you do and just make their coach go, fuck me. I thought that textbook we had was good, fuck me. Right, this is the team. Because that's how we look at the moment. Let's get into the right mentality, that's what I'm saying. Yeah? We've gone from a 3 now, which is 6. I'm moving you up, innit? I'm fucking moving you up. What's it going to take? Bar money, Isaac, to move you up, mate. Cheers, boys. The league's been suspended for 2 weeks. Obviously, that's just a figure. That's an amount of days that have just been handpicked as essentially, hopefully, a sign of intent that we can get the matters resolved. It's been suspended because funding that was widely expected to be grants has been passed down as being loans, and clubs basically, well, some clubs don't want to play. So the league canvassed to say, look, where you at with this? Will you take a loan? And the wide feedback was, no, we won't. So the league have called a temporary halt whilst they try to lobby for grants, not loans. So we're now in a position whereby we're 35-40% of the way through the season. We've now got a break. Let's remember that football below this has been stopped, so it's extremely likely there'll be no relegation, almost certain. So would I want to take out loans or privately fund a team mid-table or below, purely with the objective in mind of helping Dorking Wanderers get promoted, or the National League reserve their TV rights? Well, clubs won't do that.
One positive to come out of the impromptu friendly season is the arrival of former Spurs midfielder turned TalkSports pundit Jamie O'Hara, who may be making something of a comeback.
We've done a tough session on Thursday, really tough. At the end of it, the others, well, they couldn't even run to their cars, but if they could have done, they would have done, to get home. But he was out there doing extra running, and he's so determined. One of the boys said to me the other day, they see I don't know whether Jamie tweeted or something, him, getting praise in a clip for marking Ronaldo out the game, and then, so then you have to rationalise, he's here, and who knows where it'll end up. I mean, who knows?
Right, so you're a Dorking.
Yeah.
How's that come about?
I don't know. No, I mean, obviously I left Billericay, and then obviously I was just kind of doing the radio stuff and the media stuff, and I speak to Mark all the time. I've always had a great relationship with him, and I come down and train for a couple of weeks, and he just asked me to start playing a couple of games, and I've enjoyed it, to be fair. Obviously I'm massively unfit and got to lose. I've lost quite a bit of weight, but I want to lose some more. But I said to him, you've given me the bug back a little bit now, because it's such a brilliantly run club, and the way it's so professional. I've only been at one non-league team, and that was Billericay, and obviously coming here has really opened my mind up, because what he's done with this is unbelievable. The way they train, the facilities, all the equipment, the lads, the standards that they've set. I only come down really just to tick over, keep myself fit, and mentally get myself out of the house, with lockdown and stuff. And he was like, just playing a few games and see how you feel. And I played in one game, and then he got the phone call and was like, right, you're playing Saturday and you're playing Tuesday. And I was like, oh God, here we go. I'm actually going to have to start taking this a bit serious. So, I'm just enjoying it. Just see how it goes. If I can stay fit and keep the weight off and keep trying to lose a bit, you never know what happens, do you?
With all the action going on behind the scenes, Marc is facing a challenge to get himself and the players to focus on today's game against League One Wimbledon's under-23 side.
I want a fucking fast start here, boys. They're going to run about this month, right? They're going to run about. Let's keep doing what we fucking do. That's what's important. All of you, all I'm going to remember when it comes to the next league game, 2 weeks today, is who's had a great spell now. Don't go home tonight thinking, Nicky, you sort me the right. What do you need? Where is it?
Come on then, I'll get you some.
Can we just buy some? Or tell them to, one of the two. I talk every fucking week. It's like, have you got some? He's got a little bit, have you got some? This is Dorking fucking Wanderers. A bit more dough than fucking anyone. Can't no fucking tape. It's all about our pattern, innit? Like, do you know what I mean? Just the more pattern we do, they'll have to be coached through it, trust me. The gaffer will have to be telling them what to do. They won't know what to do. All right, let's go. Come on. Come on, boys. Let's go.
Dorking are facing a side made up of Wimbledon's under-23 players with a smattering of first-teamers. And even though the Dons ply their trade 3 divisions above Dorking, it's the home side that dominate possession. As is their manager's wont, the backline play the ball side to side, patiently waiting to see an opening before delivering the ball forwards. Alfie Rutherford caps a fine move with a low shot that's well saved, but his manager can be remarkably hard to please. Fortunately, the striker soon finishes a move that set-piece expert Dukes is more than willing to take credit for.
There must be something to work on your mug.
Don't want to say it. Definitely not, off the cuff. I did tell him to do it.
A clumsy challenge by young midfielder Charlie Hester-Cook soon gives Wimbledon a chance to get back into the game. But in order to do so, Ayew Basal has to beat penalty expert Selachii from 12 yards. Unfortunately for the 19-year-old, he pulls a John Aldridge against Slavhuck's Dave Besant. And despite leading at half-time, Marc is not impressed with his team's work ethic.
Listen, don't take me for fucking granted, Dad. You know the drill here. I like turning up and having a bit of fun, and I like having the enjoyable times, right? If you can't, just get ready in a minute, you lot, we're delayed, people. If you lot can't understand, Barry Fuller's had a good laugh. But when he goes out there, he just thinks, here we go, game mode. He could be playing fucking, having a kick about in the street if you want to fucking win. Fucking dog shit. Dog shit. Mac, you look like you haven't played in ages. All for me, coming to the half, terrible start. Quiet, just quiet. You're way more quiet than normal, right? You've actually had an alright start, got dragged down with the rest, but your fucking movement in the end's a bit like lazy. If you're coming off now, which is most of you, you've had a bad day. You've had a bad day. So that ain't good for you. That ain't good for you, trust me. Because that was not impressive. Honestly, I'm struggling to fucking find anything impressive. Good penalty save, Slav. Yeah, he fucking spilled one about 10 seconds before that. Okay, Charlie, don't lose the ball. Okay? Do things fucking sharply. I want to hear a lot more information out there now.
The second half sees the introduction of 9 new players, including Jamie O'Hara, who finds himself embroiled in a battle with players so young they probably don't know who he is.
High wide, it's a look for you.
The second half is somewhat uneventful, but it does become rather ill-tempered. With 20 minutes remaining, Marc brings on 16-year-old midfielder Ollie Allen, a lad who has popped up on the radar of Premier League clubs, and it doesn't take long to understand why. Passing the ball into the top corner with no apparent effort, Ollie brightens up a game in which almost nothing else happened.
Put his hip out.
Sorry, Gav, I'm just using a defib.
Yeah. Anyone about? No? Out of 10 today, around about 3.5, right? That's the bottom line. If you don't approach friendlies the right way, they can set you backwards. They can put you backwards. There's basics you have to bring in friendlies. Because I tell you what, you can develop some fucking bad habits if you go out there and just wander about. I don't give a fuck you have a bad touch. I don't give a fuck if, you know, you stew one off the pitch, put one over the bar. Apply yourself means you talk, you're switched on, you're drilled, you're at it, you're sharp. If you don't apply yourselves, I won't put you anywhere near it in the next 2 weeks. You can just genuinely, because I'd rather work with the boys that want to play the next league game, not boys that think they're going through the motions. Okay, good stuff. Get the giving there. Please don't leave all your shit away because we have to clear it up, thanks. Friendlies are, any manager will tell you the world over, they're extremely difficult to benefit from. They often throw up more questions than answers, but we all do them, and we do them because primarily it keeps the boys moving, and it keeps the fitness levels up in general.
Jamie O'Hara, do you bother judging him at this point, or is it just getting him some time, giving him some minutes to improve his fitness and that?
He's way off it from obviously his, standards of old, but real credit because he's out there putting a shift in. Far too many people give up the ghost, in all walks of life. So for me, it's great we can give Jamie some minutes and keep him involved. And he's obviously just left his previous club where he was manager. And it's great for Jamie.
1, 2, 3, 4. How many in total have you got so far over there?
2, 4, 5, and then 2 in the bag.
Okay, my name's Martin Clarke, I'm kit manager. Been here 6 years. Every Sunday I'm always here from about 10 o'clock to about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, because then I'll get it all out, hang it all up. And normally I have the reserve team kit to wash as well. It's been there early, you don't see anybody. So as far as the COVID is that I'll get there early, do it all, then disappear.
Right.
And
So a bit of downtime before kick-off, I suppose. Your job's all done.
well, no, then we do the team sheets with the referees.
Okay.
I do that. Then when exchange that at 2 o'clock, then I go and do a team sheet which you hand out before the game, home and away teams,
Right.
on team sheets on home games. Apart from that, it's getting so into a routine.
What motivates you? You could be watching Palace, they're in the Premier League, they're on
Well,
TV a fair bit.
no, I like if I like my sole life at that moment is around Dorking. I live by myself. I lost my wife 3 years ago, and
Sorry to hear that.
this gives me an output.
Yeah, I understand. Gives
You know.
you a sense of focus on the
Sure.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Oh, Martin, that's tough.
Sure.
That's all right, mate. It's all right. Take your time. Having severely put our foot in it, a bunch of amateurs consoled Martin before hitting him with another barrage of questions. Kind of a sociable thing as well here, right?
Yeah, they're so friendly, and sometimes I have a down and they all pick me up. I wouldn't have it any other way. I love this place, so it's all been a part of me. I can't carry on for indefinitely. I'll say I'm come up to 80 now. Yeah, so time will come shortly. I think I'll have to just come down and be a spectator.
Yeah.
And Mark has given me the honour of being vice president of the club.
Oh, wow.
So that means I can come to home games and away games and just I have an armchair in the stand in, and I just sit in it.
Right, we need to enjoy today, that's for sure, because you never know what's going to happen next, really. There's a lot going on, I've been in a lot of meetings this week. Literally, the Labour leader was on one, and Shadow Sports Minister, and Sport England, and National League, and Chief Execs, and whatnot. It is honestly, the only way of describing it is, it's as up in the air as it's ever been, really. At the moment they're talking about a vote to continue on Monday, but then equally now they're, off the back of this meeting with Sport England, they're now saying that the vote should be delayed, because a lot of clubs are like, oh, well, okay, maybe we can make it work then. So we need to prepare and plan as if it's going to continue, because I somehow hope and think it will. But I don't think you'd be rushing down to Ladbrokes to have a bet on it, that's for sure. So we've got to make sure we, as much as we can, we've got to try and get our prep right today, because if we get into a lazy mindset, too jovial, all the rest of it, then that's the mindset we're going to get them in. And I think this time last week, that's kind of where that was really for that Wimbledon game. Boys, all here, all good. So mix and match today. Want to make sure we approach this. Alfie, is it all right with stuff? You're the new Briggsy, yeah? Or Isaac, actually. Sorry, Briggsy, it's not you, actually. It's Isaac. Where's Isaac? Fucking Liam Gallagher. Sunshine. We have to imagine and understand that the league is going to start. Every team's playing friendlies today, tomorrow. And we've took some injuries. That's part of the risk you have to take if you want to keep fit. But I tell you what, if we play someone from our league today, right, and I haven't really said this all season, I wouldn't fancy their chances, because I think keeping at it has benefited us massively.
Talking of injuries, perennial goalkeeper Selachii has just turned his ankle during the warm-up, leading to a potential crisis in the shot-stopping department.
I was stepping like that.
Did you feel anything crack?
I heard a click. Fucking bullshit.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Slav's he's turned his ankle.
Oh, shit.
Could be a fracture. Steve Allen's here, very experienced physio, so he normally calls it right. So mega disappointing for Slav and for the boys. You know, he's one of our stalwarts. So obviously we've got plenty of cover. But yeah, early days in terms of the outcome of how many weeks it will be, but don't sound good.
What is happening on Monday?
Well, at the moment, proposed vote on whether the league continues or not. A black and white vote, apparently, in or out, and it's a resolution, so the outcome will be the outcome. Clubs are now kind of lobbying urgently to say, look, can we just have a bit more time around the support packages? They've only just been launched. We want to just understand exactly what's what. So it is as up in the air as you can imagine. A season like no other. But I mean, look, I just think somehow it's going to continue. I'd like to say I could put my finger on why, but it's more of a gut feeling. But it's certainly ever-changing. We know the club means a lot to the community, but to some people, they haven't got massive finances or a huge amount of sponsors like us. And, you know, for them, it could be safeguarding the future of the club. So we have to respect whichever way they go, but obviously hope they don't vote against playing. I would rather they just let them opt out. And the league becomes smaller. I'd far rather a smaller league than one that's expunged and don't exist.
The next team to visit Dorking and test the home side's mettle is Bath City, a fellow National League South side currently struggling to avoid the foot of the table. And early on, it shows. Jason Pryor converts Jimmy Muitt's pinpoint cross to give Dorking a 10th minute lead.
Bread and butter. That's not picking out his fucking pension, that is.
However, within a minute, Dorking's defence snaps like Michael Owen's hamstrings.
Fuck, what's he done there? Fuck it, man. What even happened?
In an end-to-end game that features more space than a Star Wars movie, Dorking pushed back up the pitch and put the pressure on Bath's leaky defence.
Keep it moving, Nicky.
Niall McManus's neat finish into the top corner gives Dorking the lead again.
Jimmy, just want to ask you early. Fucking get it early. Get it off him early. Jimmy, bosh, get it early, turn out. Don't fuck about. It's there for you. Jimmy, hi.
Whether or not Marc's instructions meant anything to Jimmy Muitt is unclear, but having supplied the cross for the opening goal, the lively winger then sets about making it 3-1.
Is he the normal full? He can't be normal fullback, is he? He's nowhere near him. Jimmy, listen. When he goes there, Jason, you're gone. Because you know he's looking to set. He has not a clue what I'm on about.
The Bath players refuse to wallow in tepid water. Rather, they put pressure on the Dorking midfield and discover that McManus is, quite literally, a pushover.
Get on with it!
Frustrated that the referee didn't give them the free kick for that push, Dorking contrived to push each other over in order to give Bath a shot at levelling the score.
No, someone ain't talking. There's no way someone ain't talking.
While all that's going on, we decided it was about time we headed over the fence to talk to the supporters who congregate in the alleyway outside the ground. One of them even brings a stepladder.
We get us a decent, it's as good as view as if I was in there, really, isn't it? Yeah. It makes no difference.
Okay, Darren, are you a Dorking supporter?
Yes, I am. Yes, I used to play for Dorking Youth many years ago.
Yeah, come on, Dorking! Come on, boys! There is someone listening.
I only live up the road, so I just come out and put my shoes on and just sometimes just stand here and just see how Dorking are getting on every week.
You know, I had a season ticket last season, but I didn't get one this year because you didn't know how many games you're going to. You know, you didn't know what the situation was going to be.
Presumably, when it's non-COVID times, I'd find you inside the ground.
More or less, yeah, with friends of mine. You're probably looking at I know them as nicknames, but they're normally in there. Doogie and Gaggles, Ian.
We only come to the alleyway.
Okay.
At the moment, it's not safe. He's 74, he doesn't
Yeah,
want to
you've
die.
got to be safe.
I'm 64, I don't want to die.
No,
I've
I
got a new
understand.
grandchild, I don't want to die.
Well, I mean, Chelsea's my team, but I don't bother to go and watch them. But I mean, it's a good level of football, isn't it? I mean, so that's why I watch.
It's the enjoyment of you watching your hometown.
Back inside the ground, the second half is getting a bit tetchy. Niall McManus in particular struggles to keep his cool. The period of fouling culminates with a rather vindictive and game-ending challenge on Charlie Hester Cook.
Beardy, how is he? I don't know, I'm talking to him.
With 10 minutes left on the clock, Donovan Wilson beats Jake Gallagher to fire low past Sam Howes, giving Bath a 4-3 win.
Less said the better today, I think, in there at the end. I don't think there's a lot to be gained at all by talking about this. Shit, fucking shit. Okay? Fucking shit. They went 3-5-2 second half. Did anyone work that out? No? Anyone work it out? Yeah? No, losing your head like that in the friendlies. I know why, but yeah, it's fucking ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Really ridiculous. So I've not got a lot good to say at all, boys, okay? These exercises, they take a lot of putting together. They take a lot of putting together, boys, to get these games. I paid for their coach. For us to have a game, for you to get fitness, you get minutes. We learnt nothing we didn't know already, but we had a good exercise minutes-wise, which is great, okay? All right, boys? Do me a favour, please. Do not leave all this. The minute you take it off, put it in the bin so the staff, our team, the staff, are not picking up shit. That's rude. So put it all in the right way, the kit and all your gear, please. And I'll see you Tuesday.
With Slav in the hospital getting x-rayed, Mark's biggest problem now is figuring out where to find cover for goalkeeper Sam Howes.
I'll tell you we need to get a keeper, but I can't get someone mediocre because it takes too fucking long.
Let's just wait for the x-ray. I'll call you later. So he's gone now, so let's just wait.
What we want is ideally a really experienced keeper that's a fucking number 2 or 3 somewhere. Maybe fucking could be 38 years old like that fucker was. I don't even think it's worth highlighting.
Slav's got a fracture, so I was right.
Wait, 3 months?
Yeah, that's 3 months for a normal person. Slav, that'd be about 4 days. 4 days. I think today,
I was a shadow of myself. I didn't really dedicate myself to the same mindset that I normally would. I mean, I was doing an interview on a podcast. I mean, I actually I had a missed call from the chief exec at or the general manager of the National League during the first half even. You know, like, so we're right amidst a real kind of pivotal moment in the season.
What would you do with yourself if you only had work, if you didn't have this?
Well, it's not even so much the busyness for me, because I've got with my other business, there's a lot of busyness I can do that'll be really beneficial, more beneficial than this. So I can replace the busyness, but this is like putting on my left shoe in the morning. You know, you've done it for 21 years, 21 seasons, and it's a routine. It's a way of life. And that's the same probably for all the boys, their fitness regimes and whatnot. So, and it's the same for the volunteers and the people that help the club. It's our routine. It's what we do. So I think if you take away anything, it needs replacing. Whether you're busy or not busy, it needs replacing. So, but I think more so in this situation, it'll be bitterly disappointing because it won't be a COVID-related. Well, it will be COVID-related ultimately because of the fans, but it'll be a financially related decision, which will be really frustrating.
2 weeks after the Bath game, Dorking got back into National League action, defeating Welling United 5-0 in one of the most complete displays in the history of the club.
What a fucking goal that is!
It would be Dorking's final home game of the season. A few days later, the National League sides in the North and South divisions would vote to end the season, despite the majority of teams in the Southern section voting to continue.
Oh well, at least this is the last fucking game. We finished top, we scored 5. All you can do is what you can do.
Right lads, so yeah, team meeting. As of now, they've null and voided the league, which is obviously disappointing. The process that was built was very contrived, changed the voting system, and when the votes come out, every single National League team voted to change the system, because they knew that it would mean they wouldn't get relegated. So it was all kind of very typical FA stuff, really, very contrived. So obviously we're talking to lawyers and stuff about that, but what we won't do is throw bad money after bad, or we can't afford Jason next year. Bottom line is legal challenge potentially, but unlikely. Definite massive potential to block it through the FA, and they're tomorrow going to talk about a different competition for promotion. You know, obviously, if you're asking me down the pub what was going to happen, you know, it was almost reciting 2 years ago, the winning runs come at the same time, and the league's falling away for the others at the same time. I'd have only been backing us for sure. That was the way it was looking. But they are vehement that they're going to put together something with promotion. Which is crazy, I know, but I don't know how the fuck they're going to do it. I've not got a clue. Because if they've only got 2 spots, which is what they're talking about for 18 teams, then a load of those teams would go, yeah, no mate, no thanks. So you get another fallout. So, but it's so fresh. I mean, that's everything that's happened in the last hour and a half, literally, as it's come out. Obviously, the good news for you is nothing affects your pay. Never does a Dorking a K. We are a money tree. Happy days. This is the fucking dream factory. Don't worry about that, yeah. Saturday off, yeah, key moment for you. Getting paid, key moment. They're your minutes, yeah. Can use 2 phony others, yeah.
If this were to be our sort of defining moment of what's gone before us ending, before they set up something new, then what a job we've done. What a great job, you know. Everybody involved, fully committed. We've ended at this point with the strongest management team, probably up to fucking and including League 2, in terms of the physio staff to analysis. So much of what we've achieved now is something we can take with us now without turning it upside down. That's going to be the key. As Delball would say, it's not goodbye, it's au revoir, right? It's not 100% certain. Yeah, exactly. It's really not. It might not get ratified. In play, 8-1, but it's certainly fucking doable. It might not get ratified because it smells that vote the way they've done it. It's not like, this is not me, you know, this is like very, they changed the voting, you know, it's a big deal. So it might not get ratified. What they come up with might actually be good. They might go, well, fuck it and keep the points. We can do a resolution for that, you never know. To be honest, I'm just in business mode really. Got a million things going through my mind. If all else failed now, then we'll just look at what was good about the half season during the pandemic. Because that's all you can do. There's no prizes for self-pity. We had the league got given £11 million national lottery money, which normally goes to good causes. In this case, it went to football clubs playing football. It's what you've seen here, and actually from March when it first happened, is football governance at its absolute worst. The governance is already under review, top down from the government, but actually in the professional game, the Premier League and the EFL, they've actually handled the last 12 months with aplomb, professionalism, and they've actually done all right. But boy, look below that and you've got everything you ever need to know about why the National League is and always will be an amateur league with full-time clubs. The National League aren't fit for purpose. They cannot run, as proven, a competition involving such full-time professional nature. So, that's where that's at, Rich, and it's not. I'm not sour about it at all. It is what it is. Everything happened for a reason. That this is going to go in this is our next chapter, and we'll see where it goes from here.
To see All for Nothing in its entirety, head over to Patreon, where you can view the hour-long episode for just £3. Alternatively, the second part will be released on YouTube on Thursday, unless of course you're from the future, in which case part 2 has already been released.